What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily Rewind. It's where we go back a week and give you all your tech news in one single video. Guys, it is so hot out here in San Diego, California right now. It's been like 80 degrees for the last few days, and I think it's going to continue that way into the next week as well. So really, really hot out here. I don't know about where you guys are, but I hate it, to be honest with you. But anyways, last week's tech news, freaking tons of stuff. We got Galaxy Fold 2, huge leak. We've got information on why the Galaxy S20 Ultra camera is still going to probably have auto-focusing issues, a OnePlus 8 Pro and 8 update, and so much more. Check it out. Let me know what your favorite story news is of the week. Did I say that right? See you guys down the road. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is about the Galaxy S20. If you're on Sprint, there's a new update that's been pushed out to this phone. It is the D6 update, and it comes in at about 302 megs. And when you look at what it updated, it just says a software update can include but is not limited to device stability improvements, bug fixes, new and other enhanced features, which doesn't really tell us a lot. But I looked into a Reddit post, and even everyone on there is pretty much confused by what it adds. But the last two comments seem to add some information about what it possibly could have included. One of the people put that basically it seems like that it allowed them to use T-Mobile towers and voice over LTE from these Sprint phones. Remember, Sprint was merged or purchased by T-Mobile. So it seems like, anyway, and if you're on that carrier, you should let me know if you see, instead of, I guess, if you see that it was previously connected to Sprint and now it's connected to T-Mobile. That's what it seems like the update is. I don't think it's a camera update, or maybe it is. There's still not that much information because this literally just came out. So if I find out more information tomorrow, I'll let you guys know. But right now it seems like it pushed Sprint phones and allows them now to connect to the T-Mobile network. And the last story of the day is potentially huge information about the Samsung Galaxy Fold 2. Now, before I jump into the whole story right now, two things. We heard previously the Galaxy Fold 2 was not going to have S Pen support. So keep that in mind. Remember that. We heard that, I think that was last week, we heard that it was not going to have S Pen support. You wouldn't be able to use an S Pen on the new Galaxy Fold 2. The other thing I wanted to mention is this information comes from a guy named Ross Young. He tweeted a few things out, and his information says founder, CEO of Display Supply Chain Consultants, founder of Display Search, 12 times Iron Man, telling it like it is. And you can see his website says displaysupplychain.com. So let's jump into these tweets that he put out. The first one talks about, you can see Galaxy Fold 2 leaks, main display, saying it's going to have a 7.59 inch display, the main display when you open that thing up. He said the resolution is going to be 2213 by 1689. So this display, first of all, is going to be 0.29 inches larger than the Galaxy Fold 1. Resolution, kind of 1080p-ish, slightly above 1080p-ish. DPI, which is going to be pixels per inch, is 372. He's saying the refresh rate is going to be 120 hertz. It's amazing, right? 120 hertz on a foldable display. I love it that Samsung's potentially going to all of that. These tweets aren't done though. He put a continued tweet about the Galaxy Fold 2 leak front display. So when it's closed up, so you see that nice long display. He's saying it's going to be 6.23 inches. He's saying the resolution is going to be 2267 by 819. The refresh rate on that front display is going to be only 60 hertz. The back pane technology, LTPS, and there will be a notch hole, UPC hole. So there's going to be a punch hole on here. Continued with this information, the cover window will be covered with cover film. It still needs a cover to protect it from impact, which could be a potential safety hazard. Let's hope one of the new hard coats with excellent scratch resistance is adopted. His last tweet goes on to say that they will use the notch hole, like I said, and they wanted to go with an under panel display camera, but it is not ready yet. So they went with the punch hole. Pen input, yes, it will have S Pen. Fits in with the Note series and enhances the tablet experience. I think the three big takeaways from this is 120 hertz display, so you're gonna have that ultra smooth display on there, same as the Galaxy S20. Second would be the punch hole camera, which is awesome. It's gonna, take away a lot of the, it'll give you more screen real estate and have look less kind of weird like the Galaxy Fold 1 did. And then third will be the S Pen support. So that it's looking like it's gonna be, again, a very exciting phone that Samsung puts out, and one that I probably definitely want at this point, as long as the price is in line with everything else. Now, he did go on to say in another tweet that he would have more information next week on the price. So I'm excited about that as well, and specs. So we should know more about this even by next week as well, if these rumors that he's putting out are true. Let's get into the tech news. If you have a Galaxy S20 phone, it probably works as Note 10s and other Galaxy phones as well, and you have the Good Lock app, I'll do a full video on this either tomorrow or the next day. But anyways, there is a new module for the Samsung Good Lock software. It is called Home Up, and it gives you a little bit more customization and control of your home screens, the folders, and you can back up and restore the layout that you customize with this new app. Again, I will do a full video on it, walking you guys through how to use it. So if you have those questions, just save those for when I actually do the video. But anyways, yeah, check it out. You can download it now within the Good Lock app. A new, very cool feature coming to the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2 is going to be blood pressure monitoring. So you'll be able to monitor your blood pressure on the Galaxy Watch Active 2. The update should be coming out fairly soon, so keep your eyes peeled. But anyways, yeah, very cool feature that they're gonna be adding to this watch. One thing you know and I know is that the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra has a 108 megapixel camera, and it sounds ridiculous, especially when you compare it to other phones that sometimes max out at 12, or now you're seeing 64 and 48 megapixels. It's getting higher and higher and higher. And for a while, it seemed like it was stuck at 12 for a long time. Well, be prepared to be blown away again. This tweet comes from Ice Universe, who said, the person in charge of Samsung's sensor business said, Samsung will continue to develop high pixel sensors and will develop a 600 megapixel sensor in the future, exceeding the limits of the human eye. Freaking ridiculous, right? Imagine having a 600 megapixel camera sensor on the back that doesn't stay in focus as well. That's a joke. Obviously, you guys are gonna make that joke. I'm gonna make it for you already. This camera has a tough time with autofocus. Hopefully it's just an update that needs to be fully pushed out to fully fix it. So before they move on to 600 megapixels, let's first fix 108 megapixels, then jump onto the other crazy stuff. But yeah, how insane is that? And the last story of the day is about the Samsung Galaxy Fold 2, a phone that I am super freaking interested in. I know some of you guys are also. And we talked about what it could potentially look like. We had like a black and white render of it. Well, Ben Geston put out a tweet putting out a full colored render of what it could potentially look like, and with the S Pen as well. So this is what he's saying it could potentially look like, and this is with it with the outside screen and then the back cover, where the cameras are, and it looks quite similar to what you'd get with the Galaxy Fold 1, except for you get the camera hole punch at the top in the middle, along with the S Pen on the right hand side of it. But when we open this baby up full size, look at this. It's a perfect square. It's probably gonna have in the middle, when you close it up, you'll have that little indent, the whatever you wanna call it, in the middle of the screen when you fold it up. But still, this is what it should have looked like from the beginning, and this is what it's most likely going to look like when the new Galaxy Fold 2 comes out. S Pen support, 120 hertz display, Snapdragon 865 most likely, 256 and probably 512 gigabytes of storage, at least 12 gigabytes of RAM. I'm super stoked for this phone. Let's get into the tech news. Before we jump into the news, I just want to let you guys know of a reminder, a little bit of an English accent because I was about to mess up my words. OnePlus 8 Pro versus the Galaxy S20 Ultra. To put out a ultra long video, no pun intended, comparing these two phones. It's very in-depth. I feel like it's very fair as well. Camera test, speaker test, screen, everything, guys. Check it out. It's linked down below. Let's jump into the news. First story of the day. Speaking of Android, well, guess what? Fortnite is now officially in the Google Play Store. You might have not even known that if you haven't played the game. If you had a Google device, a Galaxy device, you could download it through the Galaxy Store, or you could sideload it by going to Epic's website and download it that way. Well, now it's officially in the Google Play Store. Just search for Fortnite. Search for Fortnite and you can download it and play it that way. So it's really good that they finally did this. It'll probably give them a lot more people that probably didn't either have a Galaxy phone or didn't know how to sideload it. Much easier. Get it now. And the last story of the day is about the Galaxy S20 Ultra camera and where DxOMark has ranked it. Now, before I show you the scores, I do want to let you know this camera on the Galaxy S20 Ultra, I feel like is pretty hit or miss. I feel like I've taken some really, really nice looking photos, nice videos, and for the most part, it takes really, really nice photos and videos. So I wouldn't say it's more miss than hit. It's definitely, I feel like, more hit than miss. But still, with that said, is it the best camera ever? It's not, at least per DxOMark. And here we go with the scores. They're ranking the Huawei P40 Pro as the best camera phone with a total score of 128, followed by the Honor 30 Pro X, 125. Score Oppo Find X2 Pro with a score of 124, tied with the Xiaomi Mi Pro 10 Pro with a 124. And then you got the Huawei Mate 30 Pro 5G at 123. Finally, tied with the Honor V3 Pro, you have the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra with a score of 122. So it's funny, all the phones above it are Chinese phones. They're not phones that are completely readily available in the United States. You can't just go to AT&T or Verizon or T-Mobile or Sprint and pick one of those phones up. You have to buy it unlocked on Amazon, on eBay. Might not even fully work. So realistically, the number one quote unquote USA phone is the Galaxy S20 Ultra, but that's only because of the fact that those other phones are a little bit harder to get here in America. Kind of a disappointment. At that point, I want to ask you guys, let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is about the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Plus. It looks like, at least in Europe, there will be an LTE variant that goes out there that you guys can pick up. There will also be a 5G variant, don't worry about that, but there will also be an LTE variant in case, I don't know if it's just to reduce costs of this phone or because there's gonna be many parts of Europe that don't have 5G. I'm not totally sure as to why they're doing it, but still, I guess it's kind of a good thing if you don't really care about 5G or 5G is not where you are or you don't wanna pay the premium to have 5G. This is a great alternative. And that lends the question, would you want an LTE variant only if you could save $200 off the phone? I know it's a little bit early to ask the question of the day, but I'll switch things up because I still have a story after this. But question of the day, would you choose an LTE variant to save $200 versus getting the 5G, which also could do LTE? Let me know in the comments down below. I potentially would, because still 5G, LTE is really fast and 5G is not everywhere and you don't really need 5G, so I'd probably go LTE variant only. I'd probably be fine with that. And the last story of the day is about the phone that everyone seems to either completely love or hate on, or both, and that is the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. Now, as you know, there's focusing issues, there's autofocus issues, and some people have gotten newer updates and said, oh, it's fixed. Some people don't. Some people, like myself, have said it's partly fixed, but it's still kind of broken. And I've shown videos where it's fixed or whatever. Well, it looks like Samsung has come out and said, don't expect this to ever be perfect like maybe it is on other phones or near perfect with other phones, because it never will be, and it won't ever be fixed completely with software updates. Now, this post comes from the Samsung forums over in Korea and was responded back by a moderator and by Samsung. And the translated Korean post translates to, first of all, we are sorry for the confusion about the use. The S20 Ultra model is equipped with a high pixel image sensor, which increases the size of the sensor, resulting in a shallow depth of field and a longer focal length of 10 centimeters, or more compared to previous Samsung models. Therefore, when shooting a close object, the background may be blurred or out of focus may occur. The focal length is determined by the lens specs, making it difficult to correct with software. We apologize for not being able to fully explain the focal length in advance. Thank you. So there you go, straight from the horse's mouth. The Galaxy S20 Ultra camera will never be probably as good in terms of focusing versus any other camera that's ever been released that's a flagship phone. This is a huge disappointment. This is something they probably should have sold and told the people when this was coming out. Obviously, it's not a good selling point, but it's something maybe they shouldn't have done at this point. I know some people probably already feel this way, and I kind of feel like that way at this point because it's completely annoying how difficult at times it is to get this to focus. Even though I don't have the newest and latest, greatest updates that are out, especially the ones that have been out in China, it's still seriously annoying. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is about LG's newest phone. It's going to be their newest line of phones as well, and it is called the LG Velvet. And we know something official, and that is that it will be unveiled on May 7th online with a launch event video through YouTube and other media outlets as well if you want to watch it, but most people probably watch it through YouTube. And this is going to show off it's kind of like I guess a mid-range phone. The Snapdragon 765G processor is inside. It'll also have 5G as well as a glass back and a headphone jack as well. So if you want a phone that has a headphone jack and it's from 2020, this might be right up your alley. Also, the design of it is very sleek, very modern looking. I like it. What do you guys think? Is this a phone you would pick up maybe as a backup phone or your main phone? Let me know. And the last story of the day is about the Samsung Galaxy S20. There is a brand new update out for this phone. It's hit the UK, at least I know that much, because a viewer of mine named Ghost Razor reached out to me on Twitter a little bit ago and sent me out a screenshot showing that a new update was pushed out. It's about 154 megs, and it doesn't say a lot in the notes, but I found out that it does fix the green tint issue. So if you have a green tint issue on your display, it should fix that issue. I personally haven't noticed anything like that, but if you do, this update will push out. Now that remains to be seen. When will, the Snapdragon versions of this phone, because I believe in the UK they have the Exynos version. That I'm not sure. There's nothing, I would assume, I guess May, I would guess at this point. We're so close to May. It'll probably be included in the May update for phones out here in America. Maybe it'll come out sooner, but I would guess at this point it's gonna come out sometime in May for the United States and other regions as well. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day. If you have a OnePlus 8 or 8 Pro, they pushed out a brand new update for your phone that fixed a bunch of things. And some of those things, as you can see right here, is they optimized the touch sensitivity on the current edges, optimized the display effects, they improved video smoothness in motion graphics smoothing, they fixed known issues and improved system stability. The battery, they simplified the interaction experience for bedtime mode. On the camera, they improved accuracy of white balance and focus in a dark environment. Also within the camera, they improved the smoothness and stability. And then within the network, enhanced the mobile data and Wi-Fi transmission stability. All of that, and the update literally was only like 157 megs. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And it's already out. So if you don't have that, just go into your system updates and download it now. And the last story of the day is about the Galaxy Watch Active 3. Now this is the Galaxy Watch Active 2, and maybe you're wanting the Galaxy Watch Active 3. Well, it's passed through China certification, so it's basically maybe on its way to release. I don't think it's gonna release for months, but this is a good sign. If it's already going through certification, that usually means it's either like a month or two away from release, sometimes a little bit sooner. I don't think, again, it's gonna be that quick, but I might be wrong. But one of the big things with this is it's supposed to have a bigger battery. This one has a 247 milliamp battery. You're looking at the newer one having a 330 milliamp battery. So a bigger battery. It should also come in two sizes. It also should come in Wi-Fi and LTE, no 5G watch. So I don't know why you need 5G anyway on your watch, but still LTE and Wi-Fi versions of the watch. And then that's pretty much all we know at this point. We don't know the design or really any other things about it. It should bring with it the heart rate sensor monitor and other sensors built into this as well. So if you're wanting a new watch, I don't know if you want to hold off on this one for at least a month or two just to see if it comes out, or maybe wait till September, like when this one originally came out. This came out in September 2019. We'll have to wait and see. As more information comes out, I will let you know. Let's get into the tech news. We've only got one story today. Today was actually super slow for tech news, but we have a kind of an interesting story. It's about the Galaxy S20. As you know, you can get this, the Ultra version. You can get it in black and you can get it in gray. but there's also a new color as well that is launching right now, at least in China and possibly other countries as well, and it is white. It's a glossy white color. It's a color I probably would have definitely chosen if they had this available at launch here in the States. But this is from China. The photo is, anyway, it's got a little bit of a rainbow color on there. I don't know if that's just I guess it's, yeah, some kind of reflection of camera on there of a rainbow. So maybe it's some kind of a slight aura color, or maybe it's just the way he took the photo and it's reflecting on something. I don't know. But regardless, it's white. It's kind of cool looking. It's glossy. It looks like those old school white colors that Samsung used to put out back in the day for some of their phones. And I wish more companies don't really put out white phones anymore. If you remember back in the day, Apple put out white phones, and even at times the white phone would come out like a couple weeks or a month later because they couldn't get the color right. And now, I don't know, other manufacturers put out white phones as well. Now it seems like to be a dead trend. Most people are just doing black, or like these, amazing aura colors, or they're doing just blue color or red or whatever the color is. They're just doing kind of standard colors, but they don't include white a lot of the time. You can still get white iPhones if you get like the iPhone 11 or whatever. But yeah, just interesting stuff with what they're doing here, and I hope this eventually makes its way over here to the United States. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. New videos every single day. My question out to you guys is, what's your favorite phone color to get? I never had one of the aura colors, so I would like to get one of those, which is, I'd probably say that's my favorite color. So what's your favorite phone color? If you have to go with a straight hard-on color, that sounds gross though. Hard on. I do like the blue on here for the OnePlus 8 Pro. It's a really nice looking color. Black is boring at this point, so I'd go with the blue, I guess. Thanks for watching. See you down the road. Peace.